This video is for class 9 physics and today's topic is application of Pascal's law. Hydraulic machines such as hydraulic press, hydraulic jack, hydraulic brakes are applied on Pascal's law of transmission of pressure in liquids. So the principle of a hydraulic machine, from this portion we are supposed to do some numerical problems. The principle of each hydraulic machine is that a small force applied on a smaller piston is transmitted to produce a large force on a bigger piston. So to understand this, we need to go to figure number 4.6. So figure number 4.6 shows two cylindrical vessels P and Q connected by a horizontal tube R. Let us go to the figure. Here the figure shows so many portions here, right? But basically this figure is a general form of a hydraulic machine. It generally consists of three portions: portion 1, portion 2 and portion 3. They all are tubes. They all are tubes of different size, right? Now here we can see this one is called vessel, okay, vessel P. This one is called vessel Q and a small tube R is connecting them, right? So I am reading out from the book. The vessel contains a liquid or water and they are provided with the watertight pistons A and B. Watertight pistons A and B. Piston A and piston B. This shaded portion here. This shaded portion here. They are movable, right? The vessel P is of smaller diameter. As you can see, A, this vessel here, this vessel is of smaller diameter compared to this, right? So I can write A2 is bigger than A1. We can write this also, A2 is bigger than A1. Okay. Now the vessel P is of smaller diameter as compared to the vessel Q. Therefore the area A1 is smaller than area A2. Okay. So suppose we keep one weight here. On area A1. Because of this weight, let force F1 press the piston and the piston starts moving downwards. As the piston starts moving downwards, it will exert some pressure in this liquid. Let that be P1. Okay. And because of this pressure here, the pressure is getting transmitted, right? And this piston will move up here with force F2, right? Such that the pressure exerted upwards on this piston be P2 because of this force here, right? So in piston P we have area A1, force F1. In in vessel Q, right, there will be pressure P2, area A2 and force F2. So P1 I can write it as, P1 can be written as F1 upon A1, right? Whereas pressure P2 here can also be written as P2 equals to F2 upon A2. I hope you understood till here, right? So now the Pascal's law comes. So according to Pascal's law, the pressure exerted on piston A is transmitted through the liquid to the piston B. This exerts a pressure P2 on the piston B, which is equal to P1, right? So P2 should be equal to P1 according to Pascal's law. What was the value of P1? It was F1 upon A1. What was the value of P2? It was F2 upon A2, right? So if we read further, right, as you can see, P2's value is F2 upon A2 and P1's value is F1 upon A1. So from this equation here we can write this here, right? F1 upon A1 is equal to F2 upon A2. So if we cross multiply, then we can write this F2 upon F1 should be equal to A2 upon A1. This is the mathematical form of the principle of hydraulic machine. So now, as we can see here, since A2 is more than A1, from the figure we can see A2 was bigger than A1, therefore F2 should be also more than F1. How can we come to this conclusion? Suppose A2 upon A1 is equal to 5 upon 1. So what will be the value of F2 upon F1? That also should be 5 upon 1, right? Therefore F2 is always more than F1 because A2 is always more than A1. I hope you understood till here. So a small force F1 applied on the smaller area A1 can be used to produce a larger force F2 on the bigger piston B, right? So smaller area A1, here we can put small force on piston A1 or of having area A1 can be used to produce a large force F2 on another piston which is B. This is the principle of hydraulic machine, which acts as a force multiplier. Okay, this word, particular word, force multiplier. Yeah, you can see. So force multiplier means it's a kind of machine where you apply less effort, less force, and larger force is being generated. That is a force multiplier. You study more about it in class 10. Thank you so much.